let's fucking dig into this WoW drama. I'm honestly just gonna name these the SSG videos. I mean the GGS videos. The gaming gossip segments. Asta's gaming gossip segments. AGGS. The AGGS time. Well, anyways, let's check out this shit. Retail WoW is done. I haven't been on retail in like a fat fucking minute. Anytime that I am on this shit, for the most part, I tend to be on like what is it called? Like retail, not retail, like classic. Oh shit. Like classic. Like not classic Andy, but like as in classic, as in like the one that still gets updates. I fucking get them all confused and stuff for the most part. Okay. This 31st of October. Oh shit. Alright. Let's dig in.
Breaking news is implementing a rotation assistant. Single button assistant?
Single button assistant.
Welcome to a special edition of WoWcast, where we're going to talk about a patch 11.1.7 feature, and then a broader discussion about add-ons in World of Warcraft in general. I'm Dratnos, World of Warcraft content creator.
I'm Max. I'm the raid leader of Team Liquid, the WoW Guild, and a content creator as well.
And I'm Ian Hasekostas, game director on WoW, and it's a pleasure to be here with you guys.
So
Very excited to be here.
Okay.
So what are we doing in 11.1.7?
A whole bunch of fun stuff, but one of the features that we're extra excited about is a new UI option that we're adding called Rotation Assist, which is really designed
Rotation
to help
emancipation.
players who are maybe picking up a new
Enables highlights that suggest the spell to cast. So it tells you how to play the game.
spec or want some guidance on what abilities they should be using when, without having to turn to third-party add-ons for it. So we've seen that, there's an add-on called Hekili that is very popular with a lot of players. We're basically building in a very similar version of that into the base UI that you can opt into. That will, no matter what DPS spec you're playing, highlight the recommended next ability given your current energy, what's going on around you, and so forth. One extra thing that we're also going to do, which maybe goes a bit beyond
No, this
what
isn't
the
April
add-ons
Fools.
can do, is also have a one-button version of that, where there'll be
Oh my god! Single button assistant.
So you're just basically spamming shit now.
like
just
a keybind
fucking,
that if you just
Street
want
Fighter
almost an
did.
auto rotation,
So
can
you get to play the game with a garage door open.
Dude, I'm like so sick of fucking games doing this fucking bullshit, dude. Like I spent like almost 2 years basically. Like this man Callie, when I used to play with him, before he ditched us and shit, I fucking literally spent like years, like a year or two, mastering the gaming arcade. Like the analog stick and the buttons. Fucking quarter circle, fucking, quarter circle, tap this, tap that, whatever. Fucking all this bullshit. I had to learn all this shit in fucking countless nights of fighting Cali. Learning all this manual bullshit. Just for Street Fighter 6 to come out, and then boom. It's fucking goddamn, like, even when you, tap the, whatchamacallit, even when you fucking, tap manual, like when you can switch between automatic and manual, it'll still fucking, it's like manual is still, you tap like 2 buttons, you tap like 1 button, and you fucking do like an entire combo set. Dude, I like lost my mind. I like got off, like that shit pissed me off, dude. Like what the fuck happened to all the combos, dude? Like I walked into the game thinking I just, quarter circle, fucking tap, fucking backstep, quarter circle, punch forward, blah, blah, yeah. I would try doing all that shit and my character would just kept doing like nonsense. Like it wasn't doing what I was doing. It was like doing fully loaded combos that I definitely did not know how to do. It was doing like finals and shit, which I definitely didn't. I definitely knew that it wasn't me doing it because doing my finisher, like the final, was like one of the toughest things for me to do in that game. I can never do it. It was so hard for me to do a final. Like I literally had to meet criteria just for me to fucking just for me to be able to do the final, dude. Like it had to be like cold outside. I had to fucking be on the right side of the screen just so I could like accurately fucking course. Like I'm telling you, dude. And then fucking they did all that bullshit they took away that bullshit in fucking Street Fighter 6 and makes you just like tap 2 buttons, you tap a button and you're fucking good now. You like do a fight, bro. Oh my god.
Winner now.
Opt into that, and it will just automatically cast the next recommended ability in the sequence. There'll be a small GCG penalty associated with that, but we want to make sure that this is for accessibility purposes, that it's there for people who maybe just honestly aren't interested in the gameplay of like mastering their spec. They want to explore Azeroth and experience the story, and the mechanics kind of get in the way.
What the fuck? That's the whole idea of playing the game. Then what the fuck? Then don't play the fucking game, dude. You don't see me going into League of Legends fucking complaining about the mechanics and saying, oh, I don't want to fucking take the time to learn this. You guys too hard. You gotta learn this. Fuck that, dude. Just stop being a pussy and fucking learn it, dude. You're the one that wants to sit here and play the game. Nobody's fucking making you play the game. Like, what?
Way of that sometimes. This should be for them. Ideally, this is not a tool where someone is like being told by their raid leader to stop trying to DPS manually. This is not a tool where someone is like being told by their raid leader to stop trying to DPS manually and just turn on the 1-button mode to meet some DPS check. That we want to give you the tool.
Well, of course they would be. No, of course. Ian's wrong. So no, because, okay, so this is what would happen, right? Is that... So the red line is the artificial 1-button DPS. And this is manual. So if you are
That's exactly my point, dude. Like, if you don't want to fucking play the game, don't fucking play the stupid game. And then, you know, don't be bitching about the mechanics if you don't want to fucking learn. Like, if you don't want to have an elevated play experience where you're learning how the game works and then also having fun from it, then don't fucking play the game, dude. Why would you just want to tap the same button over and over again and just run through the motions and then, like, nothing? Like, you've learned nothing. You've essentially, you're not even playing a game. You're just playing button simulator. What the fuck?
Inside of this area here.
Oh, I gotta go ask my mom something. Mom.
You will be told by your raid leader, just turn on the 1-button mode, stop trying to play the game yourself, and if you're not in this mode and you're over here, you're going to be told to do it yourself. How the fuck? Like, these are the best players that have played the game for 20 years.
I could also see the argument, though, for both sides, because that is true, you know, like, when you fucking... Like, when I was on WoW, and I still suck at WoW, like, I don't really know how to play, but I still got on it, you know, because I like, you know, just for the sport of the game. It's like, bro, you ask somebody a question, they just fucking, it's like, oh, they just, like, all look at me like I'm fucking retarded and just say, Gaijin. Like, dude, you fucking asshole. Like, why don't you help me get better at the game so then I stop asking you? Like, bro, and then you're confused why nobody's fucking playing your game. Why would I want to continue playing a fucking game where people are being dicks to me, dude? What the fuck? It's almost kind of like the Dark Souls community, like the Souls community. Like, that's why Souls is like such a big, like, it's like such a niche right now. Like, it's kind of like rare that this niche actually like exploded into like, you know, such a like a big thing where like a lot of people like it, like anime type of shit. Cause like anime, for example, that used to be like a like a niche, dude. Like I was just saying, like not everybody liked it, you know? Like, you were seen as, like, a fucking weirdo if you liked anime. Like, you would be made fun of. People would, like, ostracize you. They would ostracize you and fucking just make fun of you. And, like, my friends made fucking fun of me. And then when I put them on an anime or whatever, they, like, made fun of me for trying to put them on the anime, and then somebody else told them. I forgot how they ended up liking that anime, but they just got into it, like, on their own terms, and then now they all, like, love anime, and they're, like, glaze that shit. They have, like, the soundtracks and shit on their phones, dude. Like, I'm one of the veterans, dude, who went through that shit, dude. Like, I had to go through being made fun of, being called a weeb and shit, and all this fucking bullshit. But it's like, dude, back to the whole gaming spiel. I just kind of went on a rant there for a little second. It's like, dude, you know, like, if you want this game to still be relevant in, like, fucking 10 years or whatever, however long you guys intend for this shit to last, if you guys expect people to, like, you know, want to still keep coming back and back and back and back and back, you gotta stop being fucking assholes, dude. Oh, that's what I was saying before. It's like Dark Souls, dude. Like, for instance, on Dark Souls, like Elden Ring, like, fucking games like Dark Souls and shit, like, when you ask somebody how to do shit, for the most part, or, like, you know, oh, I'm stuck at this boss, it's just like, get good, you fucking suck, oh, fuck, you suck, get good, stop being a pussy. And for the most part, it's like, yeah, you know, like, get good, don't suck, but it's like, dude, you don't gotta be an asshole about it. You could try to give me, like, tips or, like, little tricks or gimmicks that I might not know, so in that way I could overcome this villainous knave to his core, instead of fucking goddamn lecturing me about how I'm a troglodyte and I need to get better or whatever. Like, dude, why don't you fucking help me out, dude? How about that? You ever think about that? Is that something you feel like that's why I fucking commend people like, you know, Let Me Solo Her. People that instead of fucking complaining that other people are asking for help and shit and don't know how to do stuff, you actually do shit about it, you know? You actually do something about it. You quell the thirst. You silence it.
Years, how the fuck do you guys not see this obvious graph?
Yeah.
What the hell is going on? This is crazy.
Manually and just turn on the somewhat that sometimes. This should be for them. Ideally, this is not a tool where someone is like being told by their raid leader to stop trying to DPS manually and just turn on the one button mode to meet some
DPS
manual
DPS check. That would want to give you the tools to kind
I remember I even did this with my mom.
DP
Because she was like, I don't know how to DPS. I say, okay. Hit Starfire. After you're done hitting Starfire, hit it again.
Handle that shit.
Just do that.
Fuck!
And yes, the best Moonkin rotation was more complex than that.
Perhaps it could have been.
But her interpretation of that rotation was worse than her just spamming Starfire.
True.
So I just had her spam Starfire. And everything was fine. Yeah, bro, I invented this in 2009.
Oh, yeah? He thinks he's Soulja Boy, the first rapper to do some
organic progression naturally.
The man thinks he's the first rapper.
So the rotation assist doesn't come with a penalty or anything like that. That's just we're going to show you what your next button is.
Exactly. It's very similar to the Healy add-on. It's kind of reflecting, you know, just the latest kind of established theory crafting, and it's something that we would continue to update, you know, with spec changes and class changes over time. Ideally, you know, it all born out of the idea that we've seen a valuable tool that players feel like they should be looking outside the game to download, and we'd rather just reduce the barriers to that and make it available to everyone.
This game is so lost, it's actually insane.
Yeah. Low-key, even
it's actually crazy to me.
For you to put it into perspective, like, I have not at all been playing World of Warcraft, like, that long. Like, I've literally only been playing for, like, max, like, since, like, 2019. It's, like, what now, 2025? Dude, it's only been, like, 6 years. And even to me, this game is, like, actually fucking... sometimes, like, WoW retail is actually, like, unrecognizable.
That we are even in this position. It is so cooked that I can't even believe it. So why don't we try to employ a little bit of higher level thinking here? If the problem is that you need an add-on to play your character, maybe you should make characters easier to understand and play.
Factamundo.
Have you ever thought about that? That maybe you don't need 50,000 fucking buttons and rotations and pop-ups and, special, like that's it. So basically they're creating a problem and now they have to solve the problem that they've created. It's just insane. It's basically like all Blizzard had to do was make a wheel, but they couldn't do a wheel. They had to make a hoverboard. In order to make a hoverboard, you have to have the right kind of wood. And then you need a seatbelt for the hoverboard because sometimes people can fall off the hoverboard. And what if the hoverboard goes too fast? Okay, well, you have to have a speed limiter on the hoverboard. And then on top of that, what are you going to use for fuel? How much is the fuel?
And you cannot, and I stress this enough, you cannot forget about the cup holders. You need to have a cup holder in there because if not, you're fucked. Okay, you're just gonna have to scrap the whole thing, scrap it.
We're gonna cost for the hoverboard. And this is all, we're doing all of this stuff.
Restart.
Instead of just thinking about how to make a wheel. It is crazy the amount of gymnastics that they're going through in order to appease these top 0.001% players that play the game as a job instead of making the game better for everybody.
Yep.
This needless, unnecessary complexity that can only be basically responded to with further needless, unnecessary complexity and weird systems that simply remove gameplay from the game. It's insane. How the fuck did this happen?
Okay, yeah, because there's two parts to it, right? Like the advanced is, I want to really go into this, is the one button thing, but that's not necessarily everyone that's going to use this. Like, I think this game, especially new players getting into it, there's a lot going on within a particular class, and you can be a little lost trying to figure out exactly what I should be pressing. So even just using it as...
Then shouldn't you address that problem rather than introduce a solution to remove it? I think that's a design problem. If a person can't, easily understand how to play their character in a video game, maybe that's a problem with the way the game is designed. Duh.
Like as a guide to start learning your class and move off of it eventually, but just having a base understanding of what actually should I be doing at a base level.
If I play Retail WoW again, I'm 100% just using this button. I'm putting it on spacebar too.
Of this.
That's really exactly the motivation on our end. I mean, especially with warbands and War Within, we see lots and lots more alts, and leveling is pretty quick. You got a bunch of Warbound until equipped gear that you're passing over to a new character, and just jumping into their full rotation. You've never played the spec seriously before can be a pretty serious undertaking. And for some people, this may be enough for them, and that's fine too. But we recognize that there's so much. WoW has such a high skill ceiling that just recommend.
Why? For who? For these people that you constantly talk to, that are these people play your game as a job. And you're constantly listening to them on how to maintain that complexity. This is so distorted, it's unreal.
What the next ability isn't going to really remove that or fully solve that. There's still the muscle memory that you need to form, and then all of the nuances of we might have a recommendation for a rotation that makes sense if you're fighting a target demi, you're fighting patchwork, but when you need to plan around the fact that you're going to have to move in 4 seconds, that's a whole different layer of skill that still rests with players.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I know when I'm trying to play a new spec for the first time or haven't played it in years, it often feels like I've got a 30-minute checklist of, okay, I got to set up my keybinds, got to make sure, this ability's changed since 2 expansions ago.
That's honestly why I haven't fucking hopped on retail, because when before the recent update with Cataclysm or whatever, I had my my hot bar and all my shit to the side, my raid bars and everything, my teammates bars, the works. I had everything set up, and then fucking I didn't really know that they did this, but they fucking I found out the hard way, I guess. They fucking deleted all my shit and reset it to the default look. And basically reset all my stats and oh man, dude, it was so tight. So I just stopped playing that, and fucking my classic account for the most part kind of stayed the same. So it's like, oh man, dude, I was so fucking pissed.
They're so close. They're so close. They almost understand. You're so fucking close to solving the problem.
I gotta rebind that. And then I gotta go and read some guides and figure out how all my new rotation works. And oh, here's how the new set bonus works. So I could see it being really nice to just have a...
So it would be really nice to just have a button that just does everything for you. Why not make it easier so you don't need the button?
Yeah, you fucking dingling. My dingling! My dingling!
What the fuck is it? This is...
My chingasoria!
This is a way to jump into some content to do with your friends and have it work out nice and easily.
Is that right?
One thing that jumps out to me is that a lot of the content I'd want to do would be like delves or keys. And in either of those cases, there's a lot of AoE.
Yeah.
Is this going to have a, you know, are we going to detect whether we're fighting 3 targets, 5 targets, and is it going to cast my Arcane Explosion instead of my Arcane Blast? Or
it should be
is
able
it just
to.
always going to be a single target?
It's not just single target. There is, you know, some sense of, you know, how many enemies are within your range, in front of you, etc. And so that will affect the recommendations. Again, the goal is not optimal. The goal is not like this is gonna, you know, okay, everyone's always gonna get perfect parses and so forth going forward. But as a baseline, this should be, you know, it should be useful the same way that many, many people find Hakili useful today. And it really, like a lot of this, building on the foundations of the cooldown manager.
Strong word.
This game is so cooked, it's actually insane. I'm looking. You know what? Real ones remember this. It's the same one. And you know it's the same one. God, this is unbelievable.
That just came out in 11.1.5 kind of reflects us hearing people in the community telling us that they feel like they need to seek out these third-party resources just to play the game at like
You know what this is like? This is like watching an advertisement for one of those scam phone games where it's like a guy with a machine gun is moving back and forth and one of them says add 100 and it says subtract 1 and then he goes into the one that says subtract 1 and he dies. It's like, it's so easy. It's so everybody can see what you're supposed to do.
a baseline effective level in competitive content. And us asking, like, is that where we want the game to be in the long term, and what can we do to build in native solutions to many of these problems?
Like the base construct of it, there is a, this will help you learn what you're supposed to do if you are new. And then there is a, hey, I don't want to be the best player at this game. That's totally fine. I play it for a different reason. I want to collect things. I want to, like, understand the story. I want to quest. I want to level, right? And I don't want to feel like I can go into any content and I just don't really know what I'm doing. I feel anxious about that. Like, you have the ability to just be like, okay, well, at least Blizzard's got me. You know, I can have something at a base level where I can press one button and just kind of hang out and play the game. I have one question.
It's like I totally missed something important, but it's alright.
About the actual rotational thing. So is that going to like change with talents? So like, let's say, is it going to work off the base talent build, or let's say you select a talent that now moves a AoE button into your single target rotation? Is that going to, is it going to be smart enough or planned to be smart enough to incorporate a bunch of different potential talent builds?
The goal is that it's aware of your talents, and the logic is conditional based on what you do or don't have talented.
How is it that you guys don't get this?
They just, you know, they just don't. Just like that.
This is honestly, when will WoW players stop eating shit? Listen, if Blizzard needs, all right, I will take a month off of my stream and I'll fix the game, okay? I have to be able to stream a period of time, but I'll fix the game. And you're not going to like what I do, but I'm going to fix it. Just give me autoplay. The thing is that here is the paradox of autoplay. If a game requires autoplay, why do you have gameplay that's so meaningless that people don't even want to do it? That's the same problem here. And ironically, a Korean MMO figured this the fuck out with Throne and Liberty.
Korean MMO.
It's like aim assist. Yes, pay to autoplay. Well, yeah, I mean, I listen, I have an E6 S5 fucking Acheron in Star Rail, okay? Like, I couldn't afford my car because I bought that character. So I understand it. But at the same time, this is a garbage, Chinese, gotcha, trash,
literally made in China. Like, if you were to flip the game over, it literally fucking says made in fucking China.
Piece of shit game.
Piece of shite.
I expect more out of World of Warcraft.
As with, this is going to be something.
And the Star Rail, here's the best part. Who here thinks the Star Rail autoplay is going to be better than this? Everybody knows it.
Continues to evolve. We may not have every single possible permutation accounted for in the version that we roll out with.
Yes.
But it should still be very useful in that form to everyone, and we'll just get refined from there.
Right.
Similar to the cooldown manager that we know is that is a first take at this. We have plans to add much more customization, much more functionality to that over time as well.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a really exciting feature individually. The thing that's most exciting to me is in the broader context of the cooldown manager, of all these other edit mode changes that have come out.
I'm just going to say it. I think people like this are ruining the game. I think that these hyper elitist, super uber 1% players are in the ears of Blizzard, constantly pushing for them to make the game more complex, design the game around Mythic, and this is not the way a game should be made. You shouldn't be making a video game, listening and consulting with people like this. And the problem, why is the solution to this not removing these complexities in the first place? It's because people like this keep begging them not to, because their entire fucking career is based off of it. That's it. The reason why this problem exists is because of the premise that you need all of these people to somehow, for some reason, go and, be professional WoW players. This is what it's all about. It's indirect sabotage. It is. The game is designed around these hyper-serious, super professional players, and everybody else has to play a worse version of the game because of it. That's the truth. Blizzard should never be listening to these people. World of Warcraft is not a competitive game. It's just not. Stop trying to make it a hyper-complex, omega competitive game, and just simply make the game fun to play, easy to understand, and intuitive to learn. These sweats kill every fucking game. And Blizzard has let these people infest and ruin the game ever since Cataclysm. Ever since Cataclysm, they kept making the game harder and harder and harder and more and more and more complex. And I think that they have done so much damage to the game. It doesn't help anybody. It's awful. It's not fun.
Yeah, it gets pretty stale.
Really, it's just simply not fucking... Cata was 100% the cutoff. Yes, they killed casual playing. They did. Because these are people that their job is being good at the game. So they will always want the game to maintain those different skill gap differences in ceilings, so they can maintain that level of superiority over other players.
Maintain the mainframe.
That's it. Sweats ruin every fucking game. If Blizzard wanted to fix this, they would remove half of the fucking buttons, at least. They would remove half of the effects. Why the fuck do you have Polymorph and Hex? Why do you have Horrify and Fear? What the hell is wrong with you? What are you, retarded? The fuck is this? This complexity is so unnecessary. It's so meaningless. And it's just confusing. It's weird. It's hard to understand. It makes the game completely unapproachable. And it's like these people have never played anything else other than World of Warcraft. And I know that's not true. I know Dratnos and Max have played other games. But these people are actively making the game worse by making sure that it retains this competitive edge that is killing it.
Like, I'm not going to fucking waste my time.
There was a time 5 years ago in WoW where if you were just getting into the game, there was an intimidating list of these are the add-ons that you need. And if you're not using these, you're kind of worse, right? Like you're noticeably worse if you can't track.
You're so close. You are so close. Oh my God. You're 99% of the way there.
Your group member's major cooldown, right? Like you're worse at Mythic Plus than somebody who is, right? And it seems like the goal that has been accomplished with a lot of these things that have been coming into the base UI is you can use those add-ons if you want, but we now have a native way to the game where you don't have to get an add-on.
That is pretty much exactly our long-term philosophical goal here, right? Like, add-ons are amazing.
Fuck! Add-ons are amazing! It's like a fucking lazy G-Herbo.
Oh God, man! Why does this happen? Why did they do this to my game, man? This is the end? It's not the end. It was the end years ago. I haven't mauled it out about WoW in months, man. It's been months. I've been clean. And this had to bring me back in. Does anybody even what are people saying about? They're all happy? Thanks for coming to our tour. A lot of people have a lot of passion for the game, and that comes to an interview. Oh, fuck! It's dead. It's dead. They're killing it. Oh no. Oh.
It's like not working.
Oh fuck. It's over, guys. It's over. The game's dead.
That's clip
Check
though,
McConnell's DMs.
Yeah, whatever happened to McConnell, dude?
Honestly, McConnell messaged me something the other day. It made me sad. I didn't even respond back to it. It did. It made me really sad. I'm gonna show it real quick. This is gonna fuck y'all up real quick. You screenshot it.
Holy fuck, there it is!
Yes, dude! There it fucking is, dude.
Azeroth's champion.
Boys, I better see some fucking Twitch primes in chat right now.
Holy shit, man.
This is a big, big fucking deal.
Oh.
Huge.
I've been working at this for a long time. Now you can delete BFA? I guess so. Thank you. Holy shit, that's a... God damn, yo, boys. Yo, thank you. God, what the fuck? Thank you, boys, so much. This is one of the main...
The things that the community has done over the last 20 years to allow people to experience different aesthetics, different functionality, have information available at their fingertips, like that is a huge part of WoW's success, and we don't question or want to undermine that for a moment. At the same time, like as you said, ideally it is about what do you want, how do you prefer to have things presented to you, and not what do you have to do. What is a group mate or raid leader or whatever telling you you must download, or if you ask people, you know, hey, how can I get better?
Let's just YOLO this. Let's just
right.
do the fight.
I don't know what I just. Oh my god, you cannot just YOLO shit, dude.
Make it work, and then sometimes it gets to let's try to make something that could be 95% successful, 100 or 99, right? And there's a lot of frustration with the tech involved with that. I would definitely be. I think a lot of the raiding community would be pretty for that. You know, I think a well-designed mechanic that the game giving you enough.
To be fair, you did help contribute to the hyper mid maxing of the game. You're right. If you're watching the react, there's 4 people.
Hyper mid maxing.
No, you're absolutely right. And this is the best part. Is like I was the problem. Like and that's the thing. Like I'm just gonna say it. Who was the problem? Me. I was the problem. That's it.
Information to solve this on your own realistically. A lot of the times the community will just use one because it's like what everyone else uses, it gets you in the same place. But if that doesn't exist and the game is giving you that information, it's objectively better, right?
And even if you are doing it very well,
is it objectively better to get raid information from native you?
manually, it's always going to be better to do it perfectly in a competitive situation. I mean, having watched, you know, your raid leading, for example, over many, many years over the Race to World First, like years ago, you would call much more stuff verbally.
Very
like
true.
Going back to
Race to World First, like, how is this even on their radar? How is this even being discussed? It's like 50 people. This is so... I can't believe... How is this happening to me? Max is going to say Asmon doesn't play the game anymore? Exactly! That's the point! There's way more people that have quit the game than are playing it.
I actually have no idea what fucking thing this is.
The you know, Legion, BFA era, whereas nowadays it seems like if there is something you're calling repeatedly on attempts, the first thing you're doing is asking if, hey, can we automate this and get me out of the business of talking, which seems like it might be less enjoyable for you as a raid leader.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, if we're talking about that, I could talk all day about that. Yeah. No, I mean, I felt like you certainly had more of an impact when you had the ability to, you know, influence the fight more. But the reality is just getting some way to automate it for your players is just better. You know, it is funny. Like when I do that now,
They're so close, man.
I think, you know, well, what else can I be doing with my time? I could be like looking at other ways to optimize, and it's purely for the sake of getting better. So yeah, for my own enjoyment, yeah, that's sweet. Let's do that. I'm trying to wonder also about those kind of mechanics. So like what bosses have existed in my head, I think in the past couple of years, there's not many, but have been defined by when we're progressing this boss, we feel like maybe we're progressing.
Troopers chase.
Just gotta fucking copy this. And then boom.
You know, well, what else can I be doing with my time? I could be like looking at other ways to optimize, and it's purely for the sake of getting better. So yeah, for my own enjoyment, yeah, that's sweet. Let's do that. I'm trying to wonder also about those kind of mechanics. So like what bosses have existed in my head, I think in the past couple of years, there's not many, but have been defined.
I think that the auto rotation in this game is reminiscent of everything that I think is wrong with it. I think that Blizzard has constantly created problems and then has to invent solutions in order to get themselves out of the problem that they put themselves in.
Like, dude, nobody told you to fucking do this shit. Like, you remember the days where they would be like, oh, you think you want us to do that? You think you want us to do that? But you don't. You don't want that. You don't want... You guys don't have phones? You guys don't have phones? Or, bro.
In the first place. I think...
Like, dude, nobody told you to do this. And then you're getting fucking upset when everybody's shitting on you. Like, dude, don't fucking shoot yourself in the foot. Like, dude, hello? Anybody in there?
This is just simply another example of Blizzard not understanding and having any way of like intuitively like getting the way that players think. It is more design around the 1%. And I know that it might not make sense to you. You might be like, how's it designed around the 1% if it's accessibility to make everybody play the game? It's simple. It's because the game should be at a baseline to where you don't want to use a one-button rotation. The game shouldn't be designed in a way that it's so complex that you have people defaulting to use an option. You have to program and like fucking AI in an option into the game so it can autoplay your character for you, because there's so many levels of complexity, you can't even understand it without 3 different add-ons. Like Conduit Energy, yeah, that's a perfect example. Blizzard...
That's another can of worms in itself that, like, you know, that could be saved for, like, a whole other day, bro. Like, fucking, if you need a whole bunch of add-ons just to fucking play a game, dude, I don't know how I feel about that either, man. Like, that should not ever be the case where you need, like, 10,000 fucking add-ons just to have the game running how it should be running from the fucking start, dude. Like, come on. Like, if you're not gonna fucking, you know, have the 2 cents, or have the intuition, or at least not be fucking lazy, and fucking, you know, do this quality of life stuff yourself, then just do what Adventure Quest Worlds does, and just hire the person that does this. Like, literally just hire them, dude. It's not that hard. You can literally just hire them, and, oh man. Like, look at Adventure Quest is the perfect example as for the situation. Like, look at Adventure Quest, dude. When 343, what is it called, 343 Spider or whatever, when they started doing all that quality of life, the quality of life fucking improvements to the game, and they fucking, you know, basically had like that launcher that fucking made the game better and all this stuff that should have already been in the game. Adventure Quest just fucking hired this guy and it added all those shits into the game. It's like I don't know. It's like these people sometimes, it's like they don't fucking want to make money, you know?
Has always had this problem, and I think this is a fundamental problem with WoW. They have always had this problem that they do not understand why the game is good, how players think.
That's not really just WoW. That's like, I feel like a lot of fucking companies. You could say that about EA. Look at fucking EA with DICE and fucking Battlefield, dude. Like, how hard is it for DICE to just comprehend, get it through their fucking little small brains? Dude, all we wanted was Battlefield 4.5. You didn't have to do all this extra bullshit, adding operators and fucking, you can, you know, wing glide suit, grenade launcher, and then you can fucking, you know, I don't even know, dude. Like, I don't even know what the fuck the point of all that was. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Battlefield 2042 or whatever. And, you know, but at the same time, it's like, dude, we could have done so much better, dude. Like, you could have just listened to the fans and literally saw that all we wanted was just this instead of what you gave us, dude. And instead of just, you know, being like, hey, man, I'm sorry, let's give you what we want, that you double down on it and fucking, you know, just be like, hey, dude, sorry, we're going to try and compromise, but you guys still have to suck this up and fucking, you know, like, fuck you, dude. Oh, man. Anyways, fucking, I know this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but a new fucking video just dropped on my YouTube channel. Go check that shit out after this one, chat.
And they always try to...
Depending on what order you're watching this, I actually was editing and posting the one that I'm talking about while I'm making this one, which is actually fucking funny as fuck. So technically, in order for you to watch it in order, technically you would have to watch this video first before you'd watch the fucking first GGS fucking first GGS video, but whatever.
To effectively, instead of actually revert back from decisions, they try to just build in more fail-safes from their bad decisions in the first place. So what's happening is that you have all these systems that are put in the game that are compounded on each other, and you have all these different like mechanics and this design. Like, if I watch the way that these new raids are played, like, look at this, like, for example, right? I'll just pull up a random WoW stream, okay? Let me see. We'll pull up, and I want you guys to see how ridiculous this is. This is insane. Really, this is the new raid. This is absolutely crazy. Why is this happening? And that's basic UI. I think that no, the damage meters are not basic UI, by the way. No, it's not. But either way, it's not that bad, to be honest. Yeah, it is bad. It's bad. Nobody's going to see something like that and say, oh, this is great. I want to keep doing this. If I can pull up Arena, it's even worse.
I mean, honestly, he fucking says that, but then, like, when you fucking kind of realize how fucking retarded people are, it's like, I don't know, man. There are fucking stupid people out there, dude. You'd be surprised. People find a niche for everything, and it's... oh, man. You'd be very surprised, dude. Somebody will always find some way to like some shit about everything, dude. Like, look at fucking, for instance, like Hitler. Look at fucking Yi. Like, what the fuck is going on with that? Man goes from fucking sucking off Hitler to sucking off his cousin the next week. Like, I don't even know what the hell is going on with that.
And so anyway, I think this is really the problem that the game has, is that they constantly make it more and more and more complex. And then instead of actually reducing that complexity and moving away from it, instead of that, they just add in ways to avoid the complexity entirely. The problem is the complexity. So if you involve, like, basically, it's like you're building, a river, and now you need to build a bridge to go over the river. You should have never built the river in the first place. The problem is the river. The bridge is a Band-Aid. And this is the issue that I think this game has, is that there's so much complexity to it. There's so much designed around.
Honestly, like, I see what he's trying to say and what he's trying to go at. I just feel like the analogy that he chose was, like, so poor. Because I could fucking think of so many reasons why you would need a bridge, dude. Building bridge. Enemy is building bridge. I am building bridge. Stop them. He's building bridge. You cannot let him build bridge.
And as I said, I'll be honest, I think it's guys like this that are professional players of the game that want to maintain the race to world first. They want to maintain the complexity of the game because it is their job. You need to stop listening to people that play the game for a living, and you need to start looking at what makes a good experience.
The way I see it is, if you do not have an actual, like, job, like an actual job outside of making content, like a job that requires you to interact with the outside world on a daily basis type shit. I don't know, man. I don't feel like you, I don't know. Like, I don't really feel like you should be taking financial advices from fucking people whose job it is to try to, show you this item or play this item.
For a person playing the game. Imagine how shitty Elden Ring would have been.
This is like fucking trying to go to a skateboarding store and asking, like Tony Hawk or Nigel Houston what shit you should be getting. No, dude, you should not be they're the last people who you should be fucking asking, because they're gonna tell you the most expensive shit, shit that you can't even afford or won't even be able to get your hands on because it's top, like, athlete shit. You gotta know people or be in the area or some bullshit like that. So it's like, why would you even waste your time asking? You should just go to your local skate park and ask your local, skaters. The people who are there every day, the people who, are fucking, like, on the same level as you type shit, You're not going to be asking a pro. What the fuck, dude?
And if it was designed for people that beat Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls 1, Sekiro, and Bloodborne. It wasn't. It was designed for people coming into the franchise and they wanted to play a new game. Every boss is Malenia. Yes, every boss would be Malenia. Isn't that you, though? No, I'm not playing the game as a job. Yeah, no, that's it. You're saying a game shouldn't be optimized for players like yourself? That is absolutely what I am saying. I am absolutely saying do not design the game for the top 1% of sweats, because if you do, they're the only ones who will keep playing it. That's exactly what I am saying. I must not seen your Elden Ring playthrough. Yeah, just don't raid Mythic, man. Just keep doing heroic. I don't know. But, like, that's the whole problem that you have. Like, just don't do Mythic. Okay, just don't do the hard content that's really complex, that's rewarding, that gives you the best gear, because we've made it needlessly complex. Why does it need to be that complex as a baseline in the first place? Who decided this? Well, I'll tell you who decided that. Top 0.001% players that need to use this content as a either job or an ego meter so they can feel better about themselves. This is not a good way of designing the game. You guys are coping so hard, you're not the target audience. I know. That's why I stopped playing. Duh.
Yeah, and then people are confused when there's nobody playing.
That's exactly what I've said before. That's my whole point.
And that's also what's fucking aggravating about, like, modern gaming. It's like you can't have an opinion about a fucking game unless you're like some pro esports no life at the game that you have to, like, fucking be playing 24/7. You know every mechanic. Like, bro, shut the fuck up, dude. Shut up.
Yes, that's like, duh. Until the design completely crashes the player base, this will keep going on. I quit Mythic raiding because I didn't wipe 400 times on one boss after my long day of work. Yes. Destiny 2 had a similar problem because the director is a 1% raider.
Yeah, like, not everybody's a
Look at
fucking
Yoda's stream right now. He's pushing Mythic. Let me see. Yoda. Another example of me. People use weak auras in Classic too. Yeah, but they don't need to. That's the difference. Everybody.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm skipping around here. This video's way too long. I actually use weak auras. I'm not gonna lie. I actually use weak auras for Classic, even though what he just said, you don't really need to. I just kind of use it just cause.
Everybody will always optimize the fun out of the game, but the difference is that in retail WoW, you basically need to. In Classic WoW, you don't. Isn't it a vicious cycle? It's like over-designed because they expect the weak aura? Yeah, it is. And they're even, like, Ian is even saying this. He's saying that we over-design fights because of weak auras, basically. Like, yes, is encounter design influenced by add-ons? He says, yeah, it is. Okay, well, that's bad. Which makes weak auras the problem? Okay, all right, look, listen, I understand, but, like, I think weak auras are also a problem. But what my point was is that weak auras, at least in retail WoW, are a symptom of a problem. Like, I think they're both problems. Just remove add-on life support? Yeah, I know. Sod has a good mod.
I feel like it's, oh man, like yeah, you can do that, but it's like if you do that, you know, you definitely know that they're not gonna take the time to fix all the other shit that they fucking should. Like, you can't just remove the shit and then not address all the issues that people were using these things in order to combat to begin with. So it's like you can't just, it's like a tower of Jenga. Like, once you fucking pull one thing out, everything else starts falling apart.
Auto with the hard modes and stuff? I don't know. I haven't, it's just... How's the WoW Reddit taking this?
How's the WoW? Yeah, we'll end it off on the WoW Reddit shit.
When they got dinars? Oh my god.
Oh man.
Nice for Potty C hosts small creators like Ian, official news. These are good foundations, but we need to have add-ons like weak auras frequently updated and rebuilt. Given what their initial version was of the cooldown manage.
Oh my god.
It's done, bro. It's done.
Yeah, and that's not the only thing that's done. So is this video. Alright guys, this video's been long enough, but yeah, I think we got the point across. Like, just need a fucking, at the end of the day, in my opinion, this is just fucking laziness. They could just fix this shit so fucking easy, but you already know Blizzard being fucking jizzard, they're not gonna fucking do that. But, you know, I guess we'll just have to see where fucking WoW goes from here. But anyways, this video's been long enough. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you fucking want to. If not, I don't really know. I don't really care. Fucking hopefully you're watching this in America, so that way we could say it's a free country. Anyways, I hope you guys, tune into the next one, and peace.